I'm outdoor writer Rob Streeter, and the fly that we're going to tie today is another one of the ones that I discovered when I did my book, The Greats of Adirondack Fly Fishing. And this is a fly by William Scripture Jr. of Rome, New York. Scripture Jr. was a very interesting fly angler, and he was born in the late 1800s, and he passed away in the early 60s. During that time, he had some spectacular fly fishing, including fishing with some of the most famous fly anglers in the nation. He learned how to tie flies with an interesting method of reverse engineering the flies that they bought. So he would sneak into his father's fly boxes and take the flies and then take scissors and cut them apart to see how they were tied. So that's how he taught himself how to tie flies. I can just imagine that his father, who was a pretty famous New York State Supreme Court judge, William Scripture Sr., must have been really excited when he went to go fly fishing the next time after his son had done some reverse engineering. But the fly we're going to tie today is called the Hinckley Queen, and it's kind of a colorful white and salmon colored dry fly. So here's how you tie it. So we got plenty of activity on the road because we got a snowy day, and you may hear some cars going by, but this is how we tie the Hinckley Queen. One of the oddities that I got into with this was to tie the fly. He used a salmon colored tail and wing in this fly, and I really don't have that. So one thing that you can do is, this is just out of a permanent marker set for artists, and if you really have to get some colors that you don't have, you can always dye things. So I took some white wing material and tail material and dyed it. So we're going to start the thread and come down through the body here. Now, Scripture Jr. tied all his flies holding the hook in his left hand. No vise at all. And I can't do that. So we're going to do it with tools. Okay. So this fly and a lot of the older style flies used paired duck quills. So I'm going to get those together. So there's our paired quills for the wing. And we'll just get those tied in. Tied in, bound down. I'll bring them up a little bit. Get a couple wraps in behind them. And we'll trim that off. Okay, up to where we want them. Couple more wraps in the back, and we'll go down through. So we got the wings where we want them. We're going to use the same color in the tail. And we got the little bulldog downstairs talking. Okay. Okay, so here's our tail. Okay, our tail material in, and we'll trim that off. Okay, bind everything down. Next step is we need a rib of silver tinsel, so we'll get that bound in. And we'll bind that down. Scripture used white mohair dubbing. I'm just going to make a substitute. We got a little sparkle white rabbit dubbing. Get the same colors, same effect. And build up our body for the fly. Like so. Okay, bring the rib forward. And we'll bind that down. Trim it off. And we just need some white hackle. So we're going to use a pair of white hackles. The hackle on the fly. Get them bound in. Trim them off. Start them in. Okay. And we'll just get the head area of the fly finished. And a quick whip finish. Trim it and get some glue on it. And there it is. That's a modernized version of William Scripture Jr.'s Hinckley Queen dry fly. So if you like the channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give it a like. And I'm going to try to develop more of these videos on the historic flies of the Adirondacks and also on some other fly patterns.